the very beginning, we started it with that in mind. And that's why we replicated ourselves very quickly, meaning what we created to use, and we taught it to people who could use it.
So
you get my
what you're saying is, instead of creating a company that I do everything, create a company that they do
right.
what my dream is.
Of course, absolutely. But then you have to invent the system through which they do it.
Right.
You're not looking for people who have the skill to do it. You're looking for people who have the interest in doing it, because you can teach them how to do it. Let me show you how it works. Let me show you how it works. It's in there. The system runs the business. The people run the system. Let me show you how the system works. Let me show you how the system works. You do that. You've done that. Anybody can do that. You suddenly realize how free you can be. Right?
Mm.
Yeah.
What do you do with dream stealers?
Hmm?
What do you do with the dream stealers?
Kill them. Shoot.
I'll tell my wife that.
Yeah,
You're good.
Yeah.
I mean, why is it always the ones that are closest to you that want to take the dream?
Well, it's not always true. It's not always the case.
Well, not always, but
But you set it up like that. So if you take responsibility for it, then you'll realize she's not doing anything that you haven't given her permission or requested she do, because you're the one who's actually caused that to happen. But we all do that. I do that. You do that. We all do that. Take responsibility for it from the very beginning and realize you set it up that way. That's what you like about her. Until it comes to be really, really painful. Then you blame her. See, honey, if you'd let me do this, we wouldn't have the problem today.
Yes, I do. What caused you to want to start helping business owners or entrepreneurs?
Well, because a friend of mine asked me to go see a business owner and help him. And I told that story in the email. I said, I don't know anything about business. I don't know anything about high technology. He said, don't worry, you know everything you need to know. So I sat down with this guy for an hour with two assumptions. One, I don't know anything about business. And he does, because he owns one. As I began that, I realized that I did know something. I knew that selling is a system. I've learned not selling encyclopedias. Hear this is as stupid a thing as anybody could ever say. I learned that selling encyclopedias. I learned that practicing the saxophone. I learned that learning how to frame a house. I learned how the system works. He didn't know that. It was just this astonishing realization. And I realized we could create a system for him. And then I started.
What was your skill that the guy asked you to sit down and talk to this guy? I mean, what was it that...
Oh, he's my brother-in-law. And I convinced him to open an ad agency. He believed I could do anything. He doesn't today. He did then. He did then. He just believed completely. I walked on water as far as he was concerned. Anyway.
Okay, guys, we do need to wrap up.
Yes.
I want to give Michael a few minutes to sign your books before he leaves.
Okay. Just go. You have filled it.
Do you have an extra?